Hello friends, in previous lecture we have discussed the GSM architecture. So move on next part. In previous discussion we have discussed the mobile station, base station subsystem, then network switching center, mobile switching center, HLR, VLR. So mobile station, that is the mobile equipment and SIM card. Then base station, that cover the BTS, base transceiver station, as well as base station controller, BSC, and BTS. So all thing cover the BSS. Then network switching center, this portion, that is called the NSS. It cover the home location register, visitor location register, equipment identity, and authentication center. Then we have discussed about the MSC. It is the mobile switching center. It provide the connection to fixed network, PSTN or ISDN. Then registration, location updation, as well as handoff. This type of service is also provided by the MSC. The service are provided in the conjunction with the several function with network subsystem. HLR, it is the home location register, contain the all administrative information that also register with the corresponding GSM network along with the content location of the mobile station. HLR database maintain the unique international mobile subscriber identity for each subscriber and VLR address. HLR database can group in two types. We have discussed dynamic and permanent database, and we have discussed about the visitor location register, VLR. So functionality of VLR, it used for the selected administrative information. It used for necessary call control and provision for the subscriber. VLR is a temporary database that store the IMSI and customer information. Various features like international mobile subscriber identity, then temporary mobile station identity, current location information about MS, location where mobile is registered, directory number to route the call for the roaming station. So let we move on the next point, EIR. EIR is nothing but the equipment identity register. The equipment identity register is database that contain the list of valid mobile equipment on the network, where each mobile station is identified by its international mobile equipment identity. IMEI is marked as invalid if it has been reported stolen or not provided. Various type of EIR, like the information contained with the EIR. First one is a whitelist, then grey list and blacklist. So what is the whitelist? Meaning of the whitelist, it check the valid IMEI number, list of valid mobile equipment. So the functionality of whitelist, that cover the valid IMEI number as well as valid mobile equipment. Then grey list also check the IMEI under the scanner and list of the suspected mobile under the observation. While the functionality of blacklist, that provide the IMEI number prohibited, then list of the mobile for which service is barred. Okay, so these are the functionality of whitelist, grey list and blacklist of EIR. Then authentication center, let me show the authentication center. So authentication center is protected database that store the copy of secret key. What is the functionality of AUC? Authentication center is protected the database. It is the self-protected and it store the copy of secret key to store the each subscriber's SIM card, which is used for the authentication and encryption over the radio channel. Authentication center maintain the authentication key and algorithm that provide the security. So the security is provided to the VLR. The authentication contain the security module for the authentication key KI, the authentication algorithm A3 and cipher key generation algorithm A8. We require the KI like the key, then authentication algorithm A3 and cipher key generation algorithm A8. So this cover into the authentication center. Then operation and support subsystem. Operation and support subsystem also the part of GSM architecture. Operation and support subsystem OSS. There are three areas of OSS: the network operation and maintenance, network operation and maintenance, then subscription management, charging and billing. So billing procedure is covered into the OSS. Then mobile equipment management. Third one is a equipment management. We will discuss the charging and mobile in the mobile system in later on. Then let me show the component of each and every GSM architecture. So GSM entities, we already discussed about the mobile station. So mobile station cover the mobile equipment, handset and subscriber identity module, that is nothing but a SIM. SIM card, various type of a SIM card available, like latest technology mobile that cover the nano SIM you show in the figure. Then previously we have used the SIM card like the micro SIM and standard SIM card, the oldest phone that cover the standard SIM card. Each and every have the size is reduced day by day. Then base station subsystem, we all familiar with the base station. So look in the image that cover the base transceiver station and base station controller BSC. Then network and switching subsystem, we already discussed about the network and switching subsystem like mobile switching center MSC, home location register HLR, visitor location register VLR, equipment identity register EIR and authentication center AUC. We already discussed this part. Then operation and support subsystem. Lastly we discussed about the operation and support subsystem that cover the operation and maintenance center OMC. So this is called the GSM entities. Then let me show about the call routing facility. Call routing, it is nothing but the user dial to reach a mobile subscriber is called the mobile subscriber ISDN. Mobile subscriber means MS ISDN, which include a country code and national destination code that identify the subscriber operator. So identifier, that is nothing but mobile identification number. This number is uniquely identify mobile telephone subscriber. GSM use the number descriptor to identify the subscriber, equipment and fixed station area. Many are temporary and used to maintain the confidentiality to the fixed identity. So the detail like MS ISDN that support the country code, it cover the country code plus national destination code, and the remaining part that is called the subscriber number. So 1 to 3 digit country code cover, then up to 15 digit national destination code plus subscriber number. So this is the format you can show for any number. So +91, that is the code, country code, each and every country code listed in you can search in Google. Then national destination code, here in example 98, that is called the national destination code. Again 98, that is called the network operator code. Here mention operator, that is a Airtel. Then number that is represent with the X, it's called the level number managed by the operator 0 to 9, and last digit that is called the subscriber code. So the country code in which the VLR mobile station is registered, national destination code NDC that is allocated to GSM. In the some country more than NDC may require the GSM. The international MSISDN number that is use the variable length, and maximum length we have discussed about the 15 digit. Then now let me show the call routing facility in GSM. In the mobile system, the endpoint of the connection may not fix. GSM subscriber may roaming the nationally as well as internationally. The number is dialed to reach a specific mobile station is called the mobile subscriber ISDN number, MS ISDN. The process of locating the MS when the calling is possible, then it is the complex. Incoming call is directed to the gateway MSC, GMSC, which is the MSC with the added functionality to get the HLR home location register database for routing the information. The information written to the GSM GMSC is the mobile station roaming number, MSRN, which is temporary number that identify the MSC service in the mobile station. In the figure, a typical routing scenario is shown. The scenario start with the GMSC asking the HLR home location register for the mobile station roaming number, MSRN. The HLR typically only store the address of subscriber of current VLR. Therefore, the HLR need to inquiry with the VLR for MSRN. The VLR allocate a MSRN from the associated pool to call and create a billing between the call subscriber, IMSI, and the MSRN. This MSRN is returned to HLR to inquiry this VLR for MSRN. The VLR allocate MSRN from an associated pool to the call and create the binding between call subscriber, IMSI, and MSRN. This MSRN is returned to the HLR and inquiry the GMSC. The GMSC can now route the call to the MSC. This service is called the mobile station moving service or called routing service. The MSC use the MSRN to look up the IMSI of the MS and use this to the point out the MS. So this is the total functionality of call routing. GSM protocol stack. In network GSM, there are the 3 layers of protocol stack. Let me discuss the each and every layer. So first layer is the physical layer. Physical layer, the functionality of physical layer, it combines the work of the FDMA and TDMA technology and use the air interface, means radio channel. Then the second layer, it is responsible and it contains LAPD as well as LAPDM that establish and maintain the tear down link. It covers the flow control as well as error control detection. Then last, layer 3, it is the GSM signaling protocol. The third layer is divided into the 3 sub layer. In the figure we show layer 3 that cover the RR, means radio resource management, mobility management and connection management. Now the layer 1 physical layer that use the air interface. The physical layer specified first how the information from different voice and data are formatted in the packet. Then use the radio modem description. It verify the services. It use the modulation and control technique. Then power control methodology and time synchronization. So these are the function used in the physical layer of GSM signaling model. Then second layer, data link layer. Signaling and control data is communicated by the layer 2 and layer 3. The data link layer check the flow of the data packet it sent to the layer 3. The data link control protocol known as LAPD, where M indicate modified version of LAPD. Then networking or messaging layer. The layer networking and messaging layer, it is responsible for protocol to establish and maintain the term of mobile communication. So the third layer in GSM that covers the radio resource management, mobility management as well as communication management. Now let me discuss the handover or handoff process. So handover and handoff, both name are same. So handoff or handover that occur when active mobile station change the cell BSC of a location that initiate the handover. Several different type of handover possible. Here soft handoff and hard handoff is described in the figure, as well as horizontal handoff and vertical handoff. Some of the book that mention the intra BSC handover, inter BSC handover and inter MSC handover. The handoff is the process of transferring the active call or data session from one cell in the cellular network or from the one channel to the another channel. Handoff is necessary for preventing the loss of interpretation of the it use the service to the caller or the data session. The handoff is also called the handover. So in the figure we show the soft handoff means it transfer the information, or whenever you are moving from one base station to the another base station, so without discontinuity or interruption your call is continuously active. So this is called the soft handoff. So in figure this is the soft handoff. And hard handoff means whenever base station both the base station are in different place, so whenever you are moving from one base station to the another base station, look in the figure, this type of the phenomena that called the hard handoff. Then horizontal handoff, that cover the whenever you use the wireless area and your call is moving from one wireless LAN to the another wireless LAN, again your call is moving from one second wireless LAN to the base station controller. So that is called the horizontal and vertical handoff.